I'm Anna Wells, Executive Editor of Industrial Distribution, and we are back with our Big 50 Countdown. Today we'll take you through the top 10 industrial distributors ranked by 2021 sales, and we are going to cut right to the chase. Starting at number 10 is MRC Global with $2.66 billion in annual sales. MRC posted a 4% gain over 2020, propelled by a strong fourth quarter, as the company was finally able to get out from underneath several years of headwinds relating to oil and gas. Since the start of 2022, MRC Global has actually raised its outlook for the year, after sales jumped more than 20% in the first quarter, forecasting year-end that eclipses $3 billion. The fluctuating oil and gas vertical has caused a lot of drama for industrial distributors in this market for the past 2 years, though industry experts are hopeful that the worst is behind us for now. Earlier this year, in a column for our print magazine, contributor and former ID editor Jack Keogh wrote that distributors were showing optimism about oil and gas after a disruptive spell sent revenues tumbling. Here with more input on that is Jack Keogh, president of Keogh Business Communications and the founder of the Big 50 list.
One of the things about the Big 50 distributors over the years has been their resiliency. Resiliency is the key word for our industrial distributors, whether it's back, and when you think about all the things that they've gone through over the years, we're talking about recessions, depressions, wars, and they've always bounced back. I'm saying this because at the beginning of the year, everyone was worried about what was going to happen when we went into a recession, as many predicted. But that hasn't been the case, at least in certain sectors of the industrial distribution. For example, the oil and gas markets, distributors serving those markets, have done extremely well this year. Take, for example, what happened for MRC Global. MRC Global has a backlog of $666 million, and that's incredible, and it's the largest since 2019. A lot of people predicted that this may not be the market that they expected this year, but that hasn't turned out to be the case. Sales have done very well, and even more important, they're predicting that those markets will do well throughout the remainder of the year.
Our number 9 company is Wesco. Wesco attributed just over a third of the revenue in its EES division to what it calls industrial and MRO sales, which is how we were able to tabulate approximately how Wesco's industrial sales would rank it on this list. Wesco's highly publicized merger with Anixter closed in 2020, and CEO John Engel said at the time that the business move would change Wesco's trajectory forever. A year later, Engel said in Wesco's annual report that the company's stock price had risen 250% since the merger, and that the company had achieved record sales and profitability. He called the integration plan complex, but said the combined companies offered a newfound scale product and service offerings that were critical differentiators in the market. Since the start of 2022, the record sales have continued, and with an objectively strong first and second quarter under their belts, there's no stopping Wesco. At number 8, we have Applied Industrial Technologies of Cleveland, Ohio. Bringing in $3.23 billion in 2021, Applied owes its growth to a steady acquisitive strategy that included Advanced Control Solutions and Gibson Engineering, both providers of automation products, services, and engineered solutions focused on machine vision, intelligent sensors, and other related equipment. Because Applied keeps a non-standard fiscal year, their 2022 year-end numbers are one of the first to be available to the industry, and some see them as a bellwether for the health of the sector. If that's the case, then industrial distributors should feel good about what's coming out of Applied, whose Q4 2022 sales broke $1 billion. Full-year sales were up more than 17%. The next company on our list is New York-based MSC. For more on this company, let's hear from Andy Szal.
Metalworking and MRO distributor MSC Industrial Supply ticked up one spot on the Big 50 this year to number 7 overall, after the company saw its sales revenue increase from $3.15 billion in the previous year to $3.24 billion in 2021. The Long Island-based distributor began 2021 by embracing the changes to its service model wrought by the pandemic in 2020, permanently shuttering 73 of its branches that had already been closed for COVID-related reasons, and shifting those functions to virtual customer care hubs. In the summer, the company also purchased a majority stake in William F. Hearst, a fellow metalworking and MRO distributor based in Wichita, Kansas, with additional locations in Kansas City and Dallas. The company also made 2 more additions so far this year. Tower Fasteners, another Long Island distributor, was acquired in August, and suburban Milwaukee metalworking distributor Engman Taylor came aboard in June. The latter takeover added 2 locations in Wisconsin, another in Illinois, and a 4th in North Carolina.
At number 6, we have Whitecap with $4.8 billion in sales. Once a division of HD Supply, Whitecap was purchased by private equity in 2020. The $4 billion deal trimmed down HD Supply significantly before it was reabsorbed by Home Depot. Meanwhile, Whitecap has been busy fattening back up. 2021 acquisitions were many and included Nashville Rebar Facility, Diamond Tool, Ram Tool, Tri-Supply and Equipment, and National Concrete Accessories. Since then, Whitecap has added a few more companies to its portfolio and added a new CFO to the senior leadership team, Tim Murphy. Last year, the company broke the $4 billion mark, and this year's reported revenue of $4.8 billion likely signifies a nice bump. Whitecap operates approximately 450 branches across the US and Canada with about 9,000 employees and offers nearly 450,000 SKUs to some 150,000 customers. Next, we have Win Supply, the same company that took our number 5 slot last year, though this year with a much bigger revenue number. Andy, what can you tell us about Win Supply?
Win Supply stayed put on this year's list despite sales that jumped from $4.2 billion in the previous year to $5.5 billion in 2021. The Dayton, Ohio construction and industrial parts distributor, however, has also been among the busiest companies on this year's list, adding new branches, a new distribution center, and a slew of new companies. Last year, Win Supply made 7 acquisitions, including fellow Ohio distributor Discount Drainage Supplies, Pennsylvania's Allegheny Pipe and Supply, North Carolina's Atlantic Coastal Supply, Simon Supply in Massachusetts, Clausen Supply in Iowa, Hesco Supply of Atlanta, and H2O Supply in Texas. It also added branches in Tennessee and Texas in the past calendar year. This year, the pattern has continued. Win Supply acquired Williams Wholesale Supply of Tennessee and Romar Supply and First Source Electrical, both of Texas. It also opened its 6th distribution center in Oklahoma City and a new innovation hub in its hometown. Win Supply is also pioneering new ways to ship supplies. The company partnered with fellow Dayton company Drone Express in August to deliver a flow control component from its distribution center to a nearby store via autonomous drone. Officials said it's just the first of the lightweight deliveries that will be conducted by drone.
At number 4, we have Winona, Minnesota-based Fastenal, who came in with sales of just over $6 billion in 2021. According to Fastenal, 2021 saw a significant expansion of what it refers to as its digital footprint. This is defined as a combination of its business through FMI technology, or Fastenal Managed Inventory Programs, enhanced by digital technology, FastStock, FastBin, and FastVend, plus the portion of e-commerce sales that does not represent FMI billings. In practical terms, the digital footprint is how Fastenal says it illuminates the supply chain for customers, what inventory they have on hand, where products are located in their facilities, the usage dynamics in their businesses. Says Fastenal, quote, "This visibility also allows us to become more proactive and customer-centric in managing the upstream supply chain, improving customer service while making our own operations more efficient." The company says its digital footprint grew from an estimated 37.2% of company sales in Q4 of 2020 to 46.4% of company sales in Q4 of 2021. Fastenal believes that when the company achieves $10 billion in annual revenue, that its digital footprint will expand to approximately 85% of sales. That brings us to the top 3, kicking off with Airgas, an Air Liquide company. Last year, Airgas took our number 2 slot with $6.1 billion in sales, and this year, the company loses a spot, but not for lack of trying. Airgas has posted an increase, bringing its 2021 revenue to $6.3 billion. The Radnor, Pennsylvania-based company has had what might be considered a quiet year for a firm that registered 500 acquisitions by 2018 over just 36 years in business. The most recent acquisition we've seen from Airgas was that of Tech Air in 2019. In 2021, the changes at Airgas were more related to management shuffling. The company announced in October that Marcello Fiorinelli had succeeded Pascal Vinet as CEO on July 1st. Fiorinelli has nearly 30 years of experience in the industrial gas industry in countries like Brazil, China, and the US, with specialization in strategy, general management, and business development, with a focus on the large industries, industrial merchant, electronics, and healthcare lines of business. At the same time, Airgas revealed that Jay Worley would take on the role of COO. In May, Airgas launched a new campaign embodied in the theme line, Fill Your Potential. The company says it plans to use this new tagline to enhance its brand, inspire customers and associates, attract new customers, and build brand loyalty. I'd say our number 2 company might have experienced the most exciting changes since our last list after acquiring a fellow Big 50 distributor and gaining massive sales and footprint. Andy, let's talk about Motion.
After a year behind Airgas at number 3 on the 2021 Big 50 list, Motion returned to the number 2 spot this year, and all it took was the splashiest acquisition of the year. The Genuine Parts Company subsidiary late last year announced plans to acquire Command Distribution Group, number 18 on the 2021 Big 50 list, for $1.3 billion. Motion reported $6.3 billion from its own sales last year, enough to match Airgas on its own, but the addition of $1.2 billion from the Command operations vaulted it into the number 2 position. The distributor also marked a couple of major company milestones in 2021. It rebranded from Motion Industries to the standalone Motion brand name and celebrated its 75th anniversary as a company. This year, the company did some restructuring in the wake of closing the Command deal in January. In February, Motion consolidated its specialized engineering divisions into the Motion Automation Intelligence brand. And in June, it formed the MI Fluid Power Solutions segment from several former Command brands and its hydraulic supply operations.
Earlier this year, in an exclusive interview, we asked Motion's Randy Breaux how the deal with Command came about, and he had this to say.
About every 5 years, we like to make a sizable acquisition that really raises the bar with regards to revenue and value creation. Anytime we consider an acquisition, we take into consideration strategic fit, cultural fit, and the talent that comes with the company. It's not easy to find companies that check all the boxes, but KDG certainly did. We knew that KDG would do this for us, so we approached Little John, who was the private equity owner of KDG, to see if they, in fact, might have interest in selling, which to our surprise, they did. That led us to some quick diligence and eventually to a deal here in early January.
Perhaps some foreshadowing of some aggressive deal-making ahead in Motion's future, so definitely worth watching. All right, that brings us to our number 1 company on the list, the same distributor that's taken the title now for many years running, which is Grainger. Grainger brought in 2021 revenue of more than $13 billion, which is an increase of nearly 10% over 2020 numbers. And that's saying something, considering Grainger was able to post a 3% sales gain even amidst the worst of the shutdowns. Point of success the company attributed to PPE offsetting softness in other categories. And Grainger's 2021, which saw accelerating sales in Q4, suggests a monster year is ahead for the MRO giant. Take, for example, that so far in 2022, Grainger's first quarter earnings jumped 50%, and in the second quarter rose by 60%. When we asked Grainger what was fueling growth ahead, they told us that the company is focused on its high-touch solutions model, which offers advantaged MRO solutions, differentiated sales and services, and unparalleled customer service. Grainger also cited its endless assortment model, which it says enables expansive product assortment, innovative customer acquisition, and retention capabilities. And while web sales have been a significant factor in Grainger's success, the company keeps focused on its service model. The company's new customer service center opened in January in Lake County, Illinois, and it added 100 new jobs, mainly in customer experience. According to Grainger, these representatives answer customer questions, provide product information, help customers find solutions, and take and process customer orders over the phone through electronic communication, including chat and email. Grainger says that every year, its customer service team members manage more than 18 million interactions with customers through phone, email, and online chat. That wraps up this year's Big 50. We'd like to thank all of the participating companies, our contributors, as well as our platinum sponsor, Epicor Software. I'm Anna Wells with Industrial Distribution. Thanks for joining us.